A major metro in the heart of the USA has discovered the true value of offering a free ride. Let's discover why this innovative concept is an investment in community.
I lost my vision about 8 years ago, and when I did, it was scary. It was scary because when I would go from downtown out to the suburbs, and then I get dropped off for a meeting or something, how was I supposed to get back? Because if I wanted to go in that city or across that county line from one place to another, I couldn't do it because I didn't qualify for their service. I wasn't signed up for that service. So I would stand on the corner and practically start crying because I didn't know what to do or how to get anywhere. We've come from there to where we are now 5 years later, to where you're sitting right now in the cornerstone of a $56 million investment in a corridor, in the Prospect Corridor. And as a part of that investment, it wasn't just about putting rubber and steel on a street. It was about how are you gonna make this accessible? How are you gonna make your community better? If you can just stay away from the fact that you're just trying to take a bus from A to B and that you're actually trying to help people and help connect the community, that's a whole different optic, and that's what we're looking for here.
So Richard, can you tell me, where are we right now? What is this room?
This is the Regional Operations Center. It's where we have communications with all of the buses, all of the supervisory vehicles, all the maintenance vehicles in the fleet, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
So Richard, from this room, you have an accurate view of where every bus that's currently in service is.
Exactly, and this covers the entire region. We go as far west to western Wyandotte County, south basically to the southern edge of the metro, north to the airport. The entire region can be covered from here.
Talk to me a little bit about the challenges you have here in Kansas City. You're a major metropolitan area, but you also span multiple counties, multiple cities, multiple states. Can you talk to me just a little bit about the complexities that are involved there?
Not as much complex in terms of operations as it is in funding, dispatching, and actually getting the service on the street. That makes for a real challenge when we're talking about routes that cross through different jurisdictions. A route that may start downtown, may go north, may go through North Kansas City, may go through Gladstone, may go on up to the airport. You're going through 4 different communities.
First thing we did to make this system more accessible, if you will, is bringing us all together, okay? 5 years ago, we didn't even have a map of all the different transit agencies and modes within this region, okay? You practically needed a passport to go from downtown Kansas City out to Johnson County.
And that's the big challenge, putting this together as one regional system so the customers really don't see that jurisdictional boundary when they're on the bus.
And how many buses are in your fleet?
We have about 238 active buses right now, and the peak period is about 204 of those will be on the street at any one time in the peak periods of the day.
Richard, can you talk to me about the advantages of the different types of buses you have? You have compressed natural gas, diesel, and an electric bus, is that correct?
That's correct. We have our first all-electric bus here now. Our fleet is a mixed fuel fleet. The majority of the buses in our fleet are compressed natural gas. We still have quite a few diesels. Compressed natural gas has served us very well because of the cost differential between it and diesel fuel. And we're very pleased with the performance we have with compressed natural gas. But the industry is starting that move to all electric. We're excited about that, and we're really looking forward to trying our first electric bus.
Richard, I know that Kansas City is sort of unique in terms of your zero fare initiative.
Yes, and there are some challenges with it. We think the benefits far outweigh those challenges.
I truly believe that in Kansas City that we're very innovative. None of it works, in my opinion, without the next step, and the next step is zero fare.
We began zero fare with Prospect Max in December of 2019.
This isn't an idea about just flipping a switch and all of a sudden, hey, everything's free. This agency has systematically and methodically moved in that direction for the last 4.5 years. We started by making veterans, letting all veterans ride free within the region. We were the only ones in the nation to do that. But now any veteran working with the VA and working with our local veterans agencies, now any veteran could go down, get a card, and be able to ride public transit for free. Then we moved and went to the school districts. The local Kansas City School District, as well as Hickman Mills, Center, North Kansas City, and we said, look, let's start with seniors, juniors and seniors, and let's see. So that was the second step. Third step, we started working with safety net providers, domestic violence shelters, mental health stuff, homeless service agencies, that kind of thing.
When COVID hit, in order to protect our operators, protect our passengers, we made it zero fare on all of our routes. So you didn't have an interaction with an operator paying your fare. You could minimize those touch points. So we've been operating zero fare now, system-wide, since March of 2020.
Our fee is $1.50, okay? That's our fare to ride one of our buses. If you take that $1.50 out of the mix and it doesn't come to the ATA, if you take that money and actually put it where it belongs, which is with the taxpayers, that's a bigger deal. And I'll go one step further. You put that $1.50 back in somebody's pocket, Mrs. Johnson over on Prospect with her 2 kids now has an extra, what, $1,500, $2,000 a year to spend. Where's that money gonna go? Okay, it's not gonna go to some tax shelter in the Bahamas. It's gonna go right back into the community.
Unlike other communities that suffered devastating losses of ridership, our ridership has declined to about 80% of pre-COVID levels. One of the reasons for that, we believe, is zero fare. It's made it easy for people to get on and off the bus, and it's made it safer for people to get on and off the bus. This is our bus storage building. This is where all the buses that are not scheduled for overnight maintenance will spend the night after they come in for the runs. Right now, it's fairly empty. We're near the peak of operations. Most of the buses are out on the street doing their job right now. You will note different sizes, different shapes, different colors of buses. One of the things we do is try to right-size the bus to the route. We want the most efficient service we can get. We don't want to run a large bus when a smaller, more efficient bus will do. So you'll see different sizes over here are our mini buses. We have local buses that are in blue, 40-foot and 30-foot size buses there, and then we have our max BRT buses. This one here, for instance, see the roof line, that's CNG, compressed natural gas tanks on the roof. You'll see the flatter roof, our diesel, and then we have our one electric bus over here in the corner as well.
So Richard, this is the electric bus, I take it?
This is it, our very first. Right now we're learning about the bus. We are very excited to have it here. It's supposed to have some really good operating characteristics. 200-mile range between charges. Should be very quiet. You don't have any engine noise. And it should be some smooth riding. And of course, there are no emissions coming off the bus. So we think this is the wave of the future for transit. But we need to understand how this bus will perform in Kansas City. A lot of people don't realize we are not flat in Kansas City. We have hills, and that's going to impact our range and our operating. We have extremes of weather, from very hot in the summer, very cold in the winter. What does that do to the battery life and the range of that vehicle? So we want to get it in service as soon as possible, get our operators and our mechanics trained on it, and actually start gathering that data.
This is an impressive facility. It takes a whole lot to move people around a city.
Yes, it does. A lot of different people, a lot of different skills and talents. It's challenging, but also very exciting.
Public transportation is that one thing. It's that glue, all right? Whether it's healthcare access, education access, job access, access to equality and inclusion. Public transit is that thing. It brings all of it together. You pick anything you want that a city, urban city or a rural city is dealing with right now, and I'll tell you how public transit fits into that picture. I mean, I finally work in an agency where the mission statement is exactly what it should be, and we mean it, connecting people to opportunities. That's your job. And if you can get everybody around in your agency around that simple theme, then anybody from pushing a broom to the C-suite can get that, and they know that they're gonna come to work. And you know what I tell my folks all the time? In this job, you can affect more people's lives than most people get to do in a lifetime. And that's what they do. That's what they do every day.